Hi, Queens. Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. I know it's been a minute that I haven't been here. I hope that you're doing great. And listen, first of all, thank you for those who have reached out, sent me an email, just checking and be like, are you okay? It's been a few months. We haven't seen you on these YouTube streets. But listen, last year, the Wealthy Black Women Summit that I did in November was such a great event. It was well attended, my best summit so far. And that event took so much out of me because, of course, I was trying to do everything mostly by myself and I paid for it. Once the summit was over, I felt so drained. I felt so out of energy and I was like, I just need a break. I need to rest. I need to recover. And like you couldn't pay me enough to be like doing a video or like being on camera or anything like that. And so I took the time off and now I'm back, hopefully for a little while. And I hope that 2026 has been a great year to you so far and that you are tracking so well with your 2026 money goals. And today, before I talk about my 2026 money goals, I want to do a bit of, just like checking on my 2025 goals, giving you an update. Last time that I did an update, I believe I had already contributed $2,500 to my oldest RESP, but I was still waiting to complete that for my twins. And also, I was waiting to collect. No, I think I just collected the money for the Susu, or like I was about to collect it to actually pay down my debt. I'm happy to report as of the end of 2025, I literally completed all of my goals. So I contributed a total of $7,500, actually a little bit more, but like $7,500 to my kids' RESPs, which I'm very, very happy about. And then I also paid on my debt. So the minimum that I really want to pay down on my debt when I started that I was like, I'm almost sure I can do this was the $5,000. So that was my goal for 2025 because I knew that I'll be collecting for the SUSU at one point as I was contributing $500 into the group and we were doing it over 10 months. And so when time came, I collected the 5,000, I applied it toward my debt. So I was left with $16,000. But I started this year, 2026, with $10,000 of debt. And then you're like, what's up? What happened to the $6,000? What do you mean? Let me tell you. So, two things happened that actually helped me to put more toward my debt last year than what I anticipated. The first thing is that I canceled one vacation that I was hoping to take with my kids. So in 2025, I had scheduled two vacations, one in Mexico, one in Costa Rica. And the one in Costa Rica, I canceled it because once I did the one in Mexico, which was really great, we had a lot of fun times. I realized that it was quite expensive, right? So flying myself alone is different from like, me and my three kids. And also my sister came with us. And luckily, even with her sharing the cost with me, I still felt like it was quite a bit to pay. And so I decided that essentially I was gonna be canceling my second vacation. Costa Rica could wait, but that I really wanted to actually reduce my debt. The thing with consumer debt is that it's weight. It's unnecessary weight that you carry. And I haven't been used to just, having credit card debt, personal loan debt. That's just not the way that I've been managing my finances. The only reason why I am where I am right now, it's just because, I became mother of three within 5 years. And I went from one child to three children overnight because I went from my oldest and having my twins. And being a single income earner in a high cost of living city, it is a lot. Even if, I can consider myself having a decent salary, it is still a lot to carry on your own. And as of now, I haven't established a second solid stream of income yet. So my employment is really where my money is coming from. And then once that money comes in, then it's distributed, for everything, bills, and then pay the daycare, and then pay the car insurance, get the groceries and groceries. Hello, like, is it only me or like the whole thing has increased by 30% in the past 3 years? It's ridiculous, right? And so I was like, okay, listen, yes, I would love to be on that plane and go to Costa Rica and visit and do all that with the kids. However, I really need that debt to go. And so that was one thing that I did. So I took that vacation money and I applied it to the debt. The second thing is in December, I guess it was like what people here on YouTube call magic month. So I had three paychecks and I like decided that that extra paycheck that I was getting was going to be entirely applied to my debt as well. So between those two things, canceling my vacation and applying my whole paycheck, extra paycheck that I was getting in December to my debt, I was able to actually pay down further my debt by an extra $6,000, even more than what I got from the SUSU. And so in 1 year, I was able to pay off $11,000 of consumer debt. I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. So, starting the year with $10,000, now I was like, okay, now what's the plan? The first thing that I did was increasing my contribution to my social group because we were started again for another 10 months. And instead of contributing $500 monthly now, I'm contributing $1,000. And because I've been part of the group for a while, I'm among the first ones to actually collect the pot. And I'm collecting in May. And so we're in February. 3 months from now, I'm going to be collecting from my SUSU and I'm going to be applying that to my debt. In the meantime, I have moved that money onto my line of credit, and so it's at lower interest rate, and so that's gonna like yes, I have to pay interest rate on it right now, but it's not like crazy high interest rate. I believe it's like 4 or 5%, and by end of May, I'll be done with that. So again, when there is a will, there is a way. When you want to do something, when you want to get something done, you need to make some sacrifices. I consider Costa Rica not a cancel, not a deleted goal. Hopefully, touch the wood with God's grace. I just consider it as a deferred vacation, and we'll get to it. And when we get to it, Mama will not have any consumer debt, and I'll be able to enjoy more, not like paying for vacation and thinking in the back of my mind I still owe some consumer debt. So technically, by the end of this year, I will be debt free, consumer debt free. I'll still have mortgage, but consumer debt free. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is that for 2026, I also still want to contribute $2,500 minimum to the kids' RESP, and so that'll be a total of $7,500, same as the goal that I had last year. And my strategy for that one, if you haven't heard me talk about it, I have a video about that right here that I'm going to link below on how you can literally repurpose income that you're getting, or like any extra income that you're getting, and making sure that you essentially apply that to your goals. So I do receive the Canada Child Benefit for my 3 kids. I do receive that on a monthly basis, and although the government is giving that to me to care for the kids, and I can literally use that for anything. They don't really come and ask me what I use the money for, but mainly parents will use that for daycare, for kids activities, for things like that. And so for me, I'm able to actually cash flow that from my own income, and I consider that as extra income. And so for me, essentially, that's how I actually contribute to my kids' RESP. Even if I wasn't getting that extra income, I'll still find a way to contribute some money to the RESP. I may not be able to max it out the way I've been able to max it out until now, but I'll still be able to do it, because that's important for me, that they actually do have something in the college fund when time comes to go to post-secondary school. They may decide to become doctors, lawyers, or anything that will cost way more than what they will have in their college fund by then, but at least they'll have some money. And even if they have to go and get some student loan debt, it will not be anything big, as they would have had to get it had they not have the college fund. So it is still a way for me to contribute to the future and help them for their schooling. And so when I get the Canada Child Benefit, 2 days after, I have my automatic contribution set up. Money is taken from my account and contributed. So I contribute $250 each month for the kids, and I do that over 10 months. So that's $2,500. So I give myself 2 months where I don't contribute, and yes, that money goes in my cash flow. But for 10 months, that Canada Child Benefit, it's almost like 90% of it is used for the kids' RESP, and I love that. One goal that I've added for this year is that I would like to contribute a minimum of $7,000 to my tax-free savings account. So for my people who are watching me from the US, essentially the tax-free savings account, or TFSA, is sort of the equivalent of the Roth IRA. I say sort of because when I looked at really the features of the two accounts, I do believe the tax-free savings account is a more powerful account than the Roth IRA. And so that's that. So, but if you want to kind of like have a bit of a, what does it compare to that you guys have in the US, it will be the Roth IRA. And this year contribution is 7,000. I could contribute more because it's been a couple of years that I haven't put money in my tax savings account because again, I didn't have the cash flow for it. And also really I'm cost fi. I don't really need to put any money into my retirement account at this point, and I'm fine with that. So not contributing to my future self at this point, I'm okay with that because I've already done a good chunk of the work in the past 15-20 years that I've been investing. So I can, take a bit of a breather right now, and I've taken that breather in the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years that I haven't contributed to my TFSA. However, listen, investing muscle is like any muscle, right? So I have that in me. I have seen the wonders of investing consistently, and now that I feel like I'm gonna have a bit of room in my budget, especially if I don't have any consumer debt anymore and things like that, and also I'm hoping to increase my business income this year significantly. And so I would like to take that money and put it in my TFSA. And it is a lofty goal. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I could have done, 3,000 or 4,000 as a goal to contribute to my TFSA, but homegirl likes a bit of a challenge, and so I'm putting myself as a minimum of $7,000 in my TFSA as a goal for 2026. So now that you know my 3 goals for 2026, I'm curious to know, how did you do first for your 2025 goals? And then what are your goals for 2026, your money goals for 2026? Let me know in the chat below. I'm going to be putting 3 links in the show notes of this video. The first link is, if you're someone who really struggles, staying on track for your goals, you need a community. You need people who get you, who's gonna support you, hold your hand, give you suggestions and whatnot, and really keep you accountable to really reach your goal. And for that, join the Wealthy Black Women Summit Facebook group, which is a great group of growing members, Black women who are coming together to share about how to build wealth, how to get out of debt, how to have a proper short-term saving, protect your wealth, estate planning, all of those little things that sometimes we don't know who to ask. And money is such a very taboo, touchy subject in the society that we live right now, although a lot of things that we do in this life involves money. That's the first link that I'm going to put. The second link that I'm going to put is, if you have missed the Wealthy Black Women Summit, you have missed something. There is still a chance. There is still a chance. You're not going to be able to participate live because it's done now. However, there is a replay pass that you can grab. I'm going to put a link to the replay pass in the show notes here, and you can grab the replay pass. It was an entire day packed with amazing session by experienced speakers, and I know I have a bias because I'm the one who organized it, but I really handpicked my speakers. And then I'm very also I look at the feedback that I get after when people come to the summit, and it's been great. People have really enjoyed it, and so for me it's really rewarding because that's what I want. I want people to come, get something concrete, and then go back and apply it to their life. And it seems like I hit that well last year. So again, if you missed the summit, you can still get the replay pass. The link is in the show note below. The third thing is, if you're someone, you're shy, but you still really need to have some accountability, I do coach Black women on increasing their financial literacy, investing, and building wealth. And I'm going to put my link in the show notes so you can book a coaching session with me, or 3 or 5. But book one first so we can have a chat and see exactly how I can help you. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes people send me an email, this is my situation, do you think that essentially we can, you can help me? And sometimes I can't, because before you start investing, one thing that is really good to have is that you're out of consumer debt, right? And I'm not saying, the match that you get from your employer, which I think you still should get even if you have consumer debt, but it's really taking money out of your pocket and investing in the market. When you have, let's say, a credit card debt, which is 20%, the stock market hasn't been giving consistently 20%. So really the best use of your money, if you're like in consumer debt, is really to put that money in paying off your debt. So if you're at that level, we may not be able to work together just yet. But if you, let's say, 5 years to retirement, 10 years to retirement, and you out of consumer debt, and now you're like, oh, okay, you know what, I haven't been doing this investing thing. I know I should be doing it. I don't want to delay my retirement, and I definitely don't want to be eating like rice and beans in my retirement. Then we need to have a chat. We can, I can help you. I know I can help you. And so book that chat. Let's see. And hopefully I can put you, on a path that you will feel more confident. And then you can actually go ahead and build that wealth that you deserve. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, I know it's a bit of a lengthy one. It's my first one. I've been gone for a while. So I hope that you enjoyed, that you're still here. If you're still here, you know the drill. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also share with someone that you feel will actually enjoy this and will learn from it. And until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye-bye.